Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to a fantastic Tuesday night. I know we've been away for a while, especially myself, so I do appreciate all those who have been wanting to see me and Kev get back into the action. Christmas week is always tough, lots of stuff, lots of stress. You guys know how it is. Kevo, how we doing, buddy? Good to see you.
You too, man. Been better. Not in any finals this week, unfortunately. But we got the DraftKings fingers working.
Yeah,
I
you
always
had a
I
good
gotta
you had
have
a good
something to pay
DFS week
attention
this
to.
week, didn't you?
Huh?
You had a good DFS week this week, didn't
I
you?
I tried. Last night I was a few points away from a nice little payout. On that boring game. Dolphins defense captain. That was that was the play. But
Yeah.
yeah, not playing for any finals. It's a bummer, but we can certainly help other people. Make the right calls in their lineups. A lot of backup running backs going on
Oh yeah.
again, and every day someone else has COVID. So a
Yeah.
lot of pivots to make.
Yeah, that's a fact. A little bit of update too for those that haven't heard yet. The CDC actually recommends that it's only 5 days quarantine now, and the NFL has stated that they will follow CDC guidelines, and so we may see some people, test positive today, like Carson Wentz, that could have a possibility of coming back for championship week. I think past the Tuesday mark, Tuesday and on, I think it'll be tough for anybody to come back. But I mean, there was I mean, that Carson Wentz thing today was like Jonathan Taylor owners are either freaking out or happy as hell, depending on which way you want to look at it. Um, that's a crazy question to ask me on TikTok. That's wild.
Yeah,
I did, man.
I think either way, Taylor's gonna eat regardless.
Yeah, I agree. And we did get some information tonight that John Madden died.
That's
Super
a
sad.
bummer.
Super sad, man. Super sad. Just not how I thought we'd start this week. Oh my god, today is Tuesday, isn't it?
Sure is.
Over here thinking it's Monday. Jesus, dude. Still got the holiday blues. Yeah, R.I.P. John Madden, man. Ugh. Yeah, but we're gonna get the questions rolling out soon. I'm pretty sure we have one that I'll answer in a second. Retweets. Thanks for coming back, buddy. Yeah, Kev, I gotta tell you, this is the most successful year in fantasy I've ever had. I'm in three finals, one of which I didn't think I belonged there because I'm an 8 seed, but I'm going to get 6 seed in the league of record. So that's good. I mean, half of it this year I think has been luck of the draw. You know what I mean? Like
Oh yeah.
and it's like that every year, but especially this year. I've been hit with some bad injuries and stuff and COVID, but I mean, looking at it overall, I've gotten quite lucky. So,
You may
um,
have won anyway this past week, but basically being gifted Alexander Madison
yeah,
and your opponent lost Eckler. Like that's a big swing.
massive.
Huge swing in the matchup, but I think you
Massive, and I didn't
probably
even play
would have
Damian
won.
Harris like an idiot.
Right.
Like, I just didn't think he would. I mean, I knew we were gonna run the ball, but with that hamstring, I thought there was definitely gonna be some possibility that he was
Pretty
gonna
tight.
struggle out there. Kid looked great, per usual. So yeah, and then in our legacy league, I'm facing off against the 7 seed, and then Dynasty doesn't count because I was gifted that team. I can't. I think the only real move I made was I made a move for Waller with you, but I mean, that didn't really work out in either of our
It
favors.
didn't pan out for anybody.
And then the Aaron Rodgers move. So I was happy with that. But yeah, successful year. The Liga record one is the one I was like, I'm having a hard time even contemplating that I made it through as an 8 seed against a juggernaut like TK. His team just completely shat the bed. Sucks, man. It's been happening all year. But we got the questions rolling in, Kev, on TikTok. If you
Let's
want
get
to
it.
get it, all right. We got AJ Dillon, Devonta Freeman, or Boston Scott this week.
I would wait on some news. For me, I mean Jordan Howard's going to be limited by that stinger. I think Boston Scott could have a nice week, just
Yeah.
filling in as he usually does. But otherwise, I would go with Dylan.
Yeah. Yeah, I think I'd stick with Dylan for now. Um, who do you think the weak spot is on the Pats defense? The entirety of it. After the game, I
Miles
watched.
Bryant.
Yeah, and yeah, I mean it's just all bad. I mean Jalen Mills. I was at the game this week. Everyone was getting torched. So, bro, you chiefing? I'm not. It's just vape, bro. It's just a vape, bro. It's just a vape. I promise.
It's Chief and
Um, Schultz or Ertz this week? I love when we get tight end questions. Thanks for the questions, Hamilton. Appreciate it. I'll
they're
let you
against
go
each
first.
other,
I have
but
them ranked back to back.
they're against each other. I would go with Ertz.
Yeah.
I think with Hopkins out, maybe a little bit less competition for targets than Schultz has. I'm pretty sure Zach Ertz had 13 targets this week. And this is another game where I think they're gonna have to air it out. Dallas has been putting on a show past few well this week especially. But I mean they're once that offense clicks, they're gonna be tough to beat. So
Yeah, I'd agree. I mean, Schultz has been playing unbelievable all year, but the impact that Zach Ertz has on the Arizona team, I mean, 13 targets. You can't. I mean, only 8 catches. That was pretty unfortunate to be completely honest. But yeah, I have Ertz edged out just ahead of Schultz. The only thing that scares me about that is that Schultz. I mean, he's a red zone target. Um, where Zach Ertz is really utilized more through the middle of the field. But I mean, if it's a PPR, I still think you're fine with Zach Ertz. Oh man, everyone's just saying RIP Coach Madden. I know, man, it sucks. All right, we got a running back question from Dylan Carter 71. Thanks for the question, bro. Damian Harris or Chase Edmonds?
Harris.
Yeah,
We get Jacksonville, man.
yeah,
I think if there's ever a week to get right after losing 2 straight, we have to go out there and blow them out.
yeah,
Like we have to look at this as like practice.
yeah.
The Patriots do. We need to tune up. Patriots got to tune up before the playoffs. They got to tune up before this Dolphins game. I think there's no better opportunity than to go just tee off against the 2-13 Jaguars and put up as many points as you can, kind of like we did against the Jets.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, Damian Harris has the way better matchup.
Yeah.
Dallas is their defense is for real. And we're gonna see what they do, but they're definitely gonna put the ball in the air this week, Arizona.
Isn't there a
Um,
chance Connor could be back as well?
yeah, possible.
Or Edmonds really only had that kind of day last week because James Conner wasn't on the field.
Yeah, I don't disagree. And Connor's most likely back, right?
That's what I'm thinking.
Uh, yeah, I don't like it. D's nuts 49 said Diggs cussed you guys out. Yeah, he
Sure
sure
did.
did. Sure
He
did.
told a few people to suck his dick. That's what he said. Certainly
OBJ.
what it sounds like.
Yeah, yeah, it's just is what it is. Mr. Time 09 said OBJ this week. Depending on who you have, like who you're planning on playing him over, I think OBJ is a fine play. Dude, he's touchdown in what 4 straight games?
He's playing the Ravens,
Oh,
and
okay.
they
4 out of
also
the last 5 games, he has a touchdown. So I'll
are
take those.
they getting any of their starting corners back, or what are we looking at there for the Ravens? Because that secondary is made up of like just a couple of people off the street, the garbage man, the
Yeah,
lunch lady. Like we're just grabbing people.
yeah, yeah. They were all
off the
greeters.
street.
They were just touchdown greeters. Yeah, I mean to me, Kev, I don't even care. I think you can play. I think OBJ is a clear top 25 wide receiver this week. I think he's got high wide receiver 2 upside, but he's got a floor of a low end wide receiver 2, high end wide receiver 3 flex play. So I think he's a good play. And you know me, I hate it. I hate
Yeah,
it.
I think he'll be fine, given that
Yeah,
matchup especially.
I think so too. Elizabeth Lynch, welcome back. OBJ or Sony Michelle for flex. Well, with Cam Akers possibly coming back, yes, you heard that right. Cam Akers has been designated to return, so he could suit up. I don't think he'll get much playing time. That's my personal opinion. I just don't think he's going to play until playoffs. Or week 18, maybe. So I'd go OBJ.
Yeah, I mean, Sony's the guy, as Henderson is done, and
Yeah.
I agree with Moose. I don't think Cam Akers is gonna have too much work right out of the gate.
No, definitely
But
worth an ad, but I mean, but the thing is too is like I was thinking about that too cuz I mean, you could add him if you're maybe in a 2-week championship, but a 1-week championship, I don't know if I would go and grab him.
yeah, but anyway,
Like
that
who
being
who are you
said,
going to give up for a guy like that? You're going to give up like a Naeem Hines or like a Boston Scott or a Rex Burkhead. Like I don't know if I would go
basically,
and do that.
honestly, anybody you're not using this week is expendable anyway. You can go ahead and drop him, but
That's true.
um, I'd still go with Beckham, just given the weakness of that defense right now is in the secondary.
Yeah. I'd agree. I'd agree. OBJ. Sony or Javante?
Sony.
Yeah, you go Sony over Javante against the Chargers?
Yeah. Yeah, Javante, he's obviously one of my guys,
He's your guy.
but he's still in a 50-50 timeshare, pretty
Yep.
much.
Yeah.
Um,
Sucks.
neither of them could get anything going last week. Javante managed to get into the end zone, but he had 12 rushing yards. Um, I know it's a easier matchup. Chargers have been weak against running backs, but I think I would just go with the volume of Sony Michelle.
Yeah, I don't necessarily disagree. I mean, yeah, I think you gotta go with Sony. We got another question from JT Shabani, and he says, Kev, thoughts on T Higgins? And I'll tell you what my thoughts on T Higgins are if you just give me one quick
What
second.
do you got? You got it? You gonna break it
What
out?
my thoughts are, JT, is my thoughts are I've been a T Higgs guy since the moment I picked him up at free agency last year. See that? That's a little Clemson signed picture by T Higgins. I'm huge on T Higgins. I knew he'd have a good year, even though Jamar Chase is dirty. Yeah, T Higgins is the dude. I mean, he fucking literally got me to 2 championships last week. Like that's who he is. He's just a monster over the middle of the field, and Joe Burrow loves him. And I think after the beginning of the year, people, defenses started to hone in on Jamar Chase if they could. And I think T Higgins he's too big of a threat. He's like is he like a faster, like a more athletic and more like what a better used like Michael Pittman? I know that sounds crazy, but like in the entirety of the scheme they have in Cincinnati. Like, I feel like he's just like a monster through the middle of the field.
I mean, did you see that catch he made down the left side
Yeah,
between the
ridiculous.
two guys where he juggled it? He's just a beast
Yeah, he's just a
all
monster.
around at the catch point. He's a beast. They have three legit like alpha wide receivers. I mean, Tyler Boyd,
They
I know
really
he's a
do.
slot guy, but he is very capable.
Yep.
That offense could be scary for a while. We love T. We love T
Yeah.
on this show. Just look at his game log. Last week against Denver, it was like the only down game he's had in the last month. His targets, he's seen 14 a few weeks ago. He saw 13 this past week. I mean, they're playing the Chiefs.
Yeah.
I don't think they're not going to be putting on the brakes anytime soon there against the Chiefs.
No, I don't think so. And the likelihood of him finishing a top 5 QB against the Chiefs is even low. But he's got such massive upside. And Burrow's going to be looking to get the ball out quick this week. So I like T. Higgins even more. Like, I definitely like him for at least 7 or 8 targets, which his yards, I don't know what his yards after catch are, but like they're pretty good. They're pretty good. So I'm fairly certain his yards per reception mark hovers around like the 14 to 15 yards per reception mark, which is uh, awesome. I mean, it's awesome statistics. So, 92 targets and 835 yards on the year so far. You like literally can't go wrong. So yeah, I got a question from Richmut 007. Thanks for the follow and thanks for sending some likes, man. Appreciate it. DK, Penny, Jeff Wilson, pick two.
Oh boy. Keep an eye on Eli Mitchell. Mitchell's back, then I don't think you can play Jeff Wilson.
Yeah, I'd
But
agree.
if Mitchell's out, then yeah, you can fire him up against Houston without a doubt. That would be a great play.
Yeah, yeah. For
So that being the condition, I would say the two Seahawks if Mitchell plays. And if Mitchell's out, then it would be Penny and Wilson.
you'd play the two running backs.
Yeah.
All right. So
Uh yeah, just the matchup. I think they'll be able to keep it on the ground against Detroit.
okay. So this is what scares me is that I just popped up some rankings, some flex rankings from an unnamed website, and they have on flex they have Penny as the 36, Metcalf as the 38, which is fine. That's probably I'd have them around that pack too, but I don't rank flexes. But they have Jeff Wilson at the 103 mark. They
Yeah,
usually have a little bit more information than we
I
do.
think they're assuming Mitchell will be back this week.
I think they're assuming Mitchell will be back. So, like Kev said, keep an eye on that. Oh, he has Mitchell. He has Mitchell too.
Oh, well then, I mean, yeah, you're going to play whoever the starting San Francisco running back is against Houston, and then I think I would go Penny over Metcalf.
Against Detroit.
And he's
Yeah.
been running really good. And DK, I know he's finally scored a touchdown this week, but he still only had 5 targets.
It's not
I mean,
good.
he just has not done it for you.
Yeah. It's not been good. So yeah, Rich Mutt. I think you can go with the two starting running backs, kind of whoever the starters are deemed to be. I think that would probably be the way to
We
go.
got to remember we're going to see Trey Lance this week, I think. Um,
Oh,
so maybe some more. They're going to be even more run heavy than usual.
yeah.
We're going to see some read option.
Yeah, I don't think you're wrong there. So keep an eye on that, Rich Mutt. We'll be back on Thursday too with more developing news. But appreciate the follow and the questions again, man. Awesome, good shit. All right, Dylan Carter 71. He's got a question here. Cooper Cup, Devontae Adams, Debo, Justin Jefferson. I can only start two. Um, I'd
Uh,
like to. All right, Dylan. My first question, man, is how. My second question is why. That's that's just
is this a
insane. Like,
troll?
oh, there's no way. There's
Well,
no.
it could be
He
like one
must
of
be
them
trolling.
guillotine leagues. You ever heard of that?
What's that?
Like every week a team is eliminated and they're like players go back into the waiver pool
What?
until there's like only 2 teams left or something. I don't know. It's something crazy
That's
like that.
crazy. That's
But
crazy to me. But no, I've never heard of that. But that being said, Cooper Cup, Devontae Adams, Debo, and Justin
it
Jefferson.
could definitely be a troll too because we had some people in here on Sunday just saying some fucking nonsense. But anyway, yeah,
um, I guess
you
my simple
literally
answer to you is
start any 2 of them and
yeah,
you'll
it
be
doesn't really matter. He said no, it's regular. I'll explain. Yo, Dylan, we have a Discord channel. If you look up the Fantasy Dads and you're on Discord, I would love to know that explanation. If you don't want to do it on here, I know it's a bitch to type on your phone,
I mean,
but
I understand having Adams and Cup, but like how do you have the other guys?
yeah, I definitely need to know. He definitely made some big trades or something, but
Yeah, but
um, I
why would
would
they
s-
allow such a thing?
if I had to pick two, I'd pick Cup and Adams. I mean, they're the one and two.
Yeah, you got it.
But like, I mean, Debo Samuel against Houston, like that's that's juicy. I mean, I think Jefferson for me, I probably wouldn't consider out of those four if I only could play two. But oh God, but is he though? Because they're against Green Bay. I don't know. I don't know.
You
You
know
can
what, Moose? The more I think about this, I think you could have all 4 of these guys like drafted them as crazy as it is. Like
Do you think
Adams
he
was in the first. Jefferson was probably like an early third or late second.
Yeah.
Cup and Debo were like drafted late.
Well, Cup was like a late 3rd round, I thought, or an
I
early
thought
4th round.
Cup was in like the fourth or fifth.
Yeah,
Debo
and
was
then
even later
Debo
than
was
that.
right there. So, yeah, no, you coulda just had an
I
absolutely
I heard
unreal.
Adam Cup and Jefferson. My head started spinning. But honestly,
That's
thinking back
true.
now on draft season, like that could have happened. It's crazy.
That's
I mean,
true.
your running backs would probably be pretty shitty, but
Maybe
you would have made it
so.
work.
Maybe so. He said he drafted Cup, Jefferson, and Debo, traded Cook for Adams. All right,
Oh,
that's a fucking
I like
ballsy
that.
move, man. Kinda ended up working out for you, so that's sick.
Well,
Normally, you trade a top 3 running back for a top 5 wide receiver. Usually doesn't work out for you that well, so
the way this has been going with the running backs, I mean, fucking pick up Dare Agumbawale this week and you'll be all right. Pick up Keyshawn Vaughan against the Jets and like
Oh,
you'll be
no.
fine. Yeah, it's
Stop.
craziness.
Elizabeth Lynch said, "Thoughts on Joe Burrow this week?"
Dud.
Stud. Stud. I mean, Elizabeth, like, I just, I have a hard time believing you could pick up somebody better than him. Like, the next best option is probably like if he's left, like a Kirk Cousins or a Trey Lance or a Taysom Hill.
Yeah, I would say Trey Lance just because of like the fact that he will run some and he
Yeah,
plays Houston.
he would
But
be my number 1
I
pickup,
would
but I
not
wouldn't.
be. I couldn't possibly find it in me to put Lance in the lineup over Burrow.
No, Burrow,
That
dude. The Bengals
wouldn't be
are,
me.
yeah, the Bengals are on a tear right now, and I don't think they're gonna let up just because they're playing Kansas City. I think that team is legit. So
I
just
really, I wouldn't be surprised if they win. I know Kansas City's been firing on all cylinders lately, but I think the Bengals can win that game.
yeah, yeah. Oh yeah, dude. The Bengals are good.
I said
I
they were
mean,
cheeks not like a week ago, and then
you.
I realized that the Ravens were playing with like their 45th string corners, and I was like, all right, they're gonna bury them, and they're gonna win that division. And then here we go, let's do it. Dak
It is
Taylor, I just think
crazy.
he's like stumbling his way into. I don't think he's a particularly good coach, but the team is just so talented around him that
Who, Taylor?
yeah,
Oh
I don't
yeah,
think he's a
no.
very good coach,
I
but
mean, anybody's better than Marvin Lewis. So, I mean, they
that's
stuck
fair.
with that guy in his 1 playoff win. No, he didn't have a playoff win. They haven't won a playoff
They
game since
were
'91.
they went to the playoffs a good amount with Andy Dalton and just got bounced by Houston like 2 or 3 years in a row. It was fantastic.
Hate to see it. Hate to see it. Dylan said, "I have Mixon and Derrick Henry because I traded D Hop and Waller for Henry. Mix got for Lockett. I don't. Oh, he got Mixon for Lockett. Jesus.
What a steal!
Yeah,
What?
you just robbing people, dude. I mean, Derrick
You
Henry's
better
tough,
relax.
but I didn't take a piece of Joe Mixon anywhere this year. As you know, Kev, I was not high on him. In
No,
fact,
I
I
wasn't
made
either. I was worried
I
about his foot injury from
yeah,
last year.
I made an entry like an entry fee bet for a league. I told some kid like I'll pay your entry fee if Mixon is the top 8 PPR running back, and he's
Well,
number 3. Lost that one.
that's
Lost that
that's
one.
an L.
Yeah. No, but, no, I mean, if you had told me Leonard Fournette would be like a top 5 running back this year, I would have, like, slapped you. So, a lot of nonsense this year. Um, yeah, I'm trying to think, man, like, anybody you in particular think you can pick up, Kev, this week that, I mean, you mentioned Ogumbawale earlier. You mentioned
Yeah,
Boston Scott. I think there's another guy on that team I think
yeah.
you could pick up.
Boston Scott and Jordan Howard should both be added. Howard, just keep an eye on the stinger. But if he's plays and he's the starter, then it's a great matchup against Washington. Um, Keyshawn Vaughan, I mentioned that. Rojo kind of stinks, bro.
Yeah, he's just
Um,
not that good at football.
he struggled this past week, and saw a little couple of highlights of him just whiffing in pass protection, and it's not like he even got blown up. Like he just missed the assignment. Um, So we might see some more Keyshawn Vaughan after he ripped off that long touchdown. Bruce Arians actually had some nice things to say about him. So
Well, I mean, they spent a pretty valuable draft pick on him.
yeah, I thought he was dead.
Where'd he go?
Dead in the water.
Vanderbilt or
Honestly,
Purdue?
I don't remember.
I think he went to Vanderbilt because I remember reading about him, and I was like, everybody thought he was like the next
There was hype
their
around
next
him
guy.
last season, and then they fucking got Fournette, and it was like, he's dead.
Yeah, yeah. I
But
don't know.
now
It's
it is intriguing against the Jets, who even if Rojo is still, a clear lead back, I mean, they should win that game by a lot. Plenty of run for the second running back. I don't know. I think he's an interesting name. And what Arians said about him is that he's more than a third down back. He can be a starting back in this league. I think he came out just yesterday with that. And like I said, there was some really sloppy pass pro from Rojo. He didn't even run that good. So something to keep an eye on. Rashad Penny, obviously, though, I don't know. He should be owned, but if he's not,
yeah. We got a really interesting question here, Kev,
what do we got?
and I love to see it. Elizabeth Lynch, she said, I'm gonna call you Lizzie. Lizzie said, "Should I pick up Amon Ra and start him over OBJ in flex?"
Yeah. Yeah, we
Yeah,
like
you think you
Beckham's.
would?
We like Beckham's matchup, but Amon Ra's been eaten. He shouldn't be available.
No, he shouldn't be available.
The guy's been. I mean, we said to fade him on Sunday's show because Goff wasn't playing, and it didn't matter. And he still popped off.
He
I
steady
just,
gets. I think they're building that offense around. I know it sounds crazy because they're not building much of anything, but I think they're solely creating plays for Amon Ra, man. 12 targets, 12 targets, 11 targets, 11 targets. Since week
yeah.
13, he's finished top
He's like the Jalen
6
Waddle in that
3
offense
times.
right now. He's the Jalen Waddle in that offense right now. I think you have to play him.
Yeah, he's a
You-
stud. And the thing is too, he's getting his touchdowns just like OBJ. That team doesn't have much to rely on. Now, DeAndre Swift, I'm sorry, did DeAndre play this weekend?
He did Nets.
He did not.
Jamal Williams was back.
Do we know if he is? I mean, I don't know how much it's going to affect it, but are we expecting DeAndre Swift back this week or no?
I don't see why they would.
I don't see why they'd play him.
Even why bring him back? They're
Yeah,
playing
why
for
bother?
nothing. Let his shoulder heal or whatever it
Yeah,
is. But it's his knee. His is his knee, right?
I believe so.
I'm mixing up. There's too many fucking injuries.
No,
But
shoulder,
it
shoulder.
is his shoulder. I was
Yeah,
right. All
shoulder.
right.
Yep, you were right.
Let him rest up. Let it be the Jamal Williams, Craig Reynolds show. I mean, I don't see why they need to rush him back. I mean, it's not
Yeah,
rushing. He's been out since Thanksgiving, but there's
I
two
don't know
games left.
either.
There's 2 games left. You're gonna have a top 2 pick next year. Just there's no reason.
Yeah, it's interesting too because his website I'm on says efficiency in the red zone is that Amon Ra his efficiency is poor, so his opportunities into touchdowns is just below the league average rate. But like in the past 4 games, man, he's got 3 touchdowns. He's got basically over 85 yards every game. Besides week 14 versus Denver, Denver's defense is actually more solid
Yeah,
against the wide receiver than most people think, but. I mean, the guy's been on an absolute tear since week
he's
13.
clearly benefiting from Hawkinson not being there, but I mean, even there was signs of life even before that. I think he's legit. He's
Yep.
getting just as much targets as like a Jalen Waddle in Miami, and he's making them work.
Yeah. I think Amon Ra has the ability to finish a wide receiver one pretty much
I would
every
go with the volume of Amon Ra over the chance that Beckham scores another touchdown because I still think Cooper Kupp will dominate that game.
Yep.
Beckham might score, but I think you go with the volume.
Yeah, and the thing is that the volume is consistent, which is something we normally don't see out of wide receivers. And I hate that we're even talking about consistency in wide receivers because, of course, this could be the week where he gets 3 targets against Seattle. I don't think Seattle is their defense isn't good, but I don't think it's a fantastic matchup for him. You know, but yeah, when you're the fifth ranked wide receiver in like the last 4 weeks with 54.5 fantasy points, the guy's hot. Like it's just
Yeah,
with Tim Boyle. Like with
Tim
Tim
Boyle
Boyle.
made it happen. 9 for 91 in the tug with Tim Boyle.
Yeah. Um, yeah, and believe it or not, the Seahawks secondary, I think they're the eighth against fantasy wide receivers over the last 5 weeks. So it's not great, but the Lions have nothing to lose. Detroit has nothing to lose. So they're gonna keep hucking the ball. Campbell's obviously not the type of guy that's just gonna lie down. But he'll definitely try to protect DeAndre Swift. We got George 559 in the house. What's up, George? How you doing, man? I recognize your name. Hope your Christmas was good, bro. Um, yeah, I don't know. I'm definitely gonna have some, and I don't know if we'll go quite an hour on this show because I don't know how much we have to talk about leading up to the big weekend. Obviously, there's less people in play. I think we could definitely talk a little bit of DFS this weekend as well. I think that's really important. People want to stay busy. They want to stay engaged with these games. Isaiah McKenzie.
Yeah, I
I
was gonna
I I hate
mention
to
him in
bring
the
up his
waiver
name.
part too.
Gabriel Davis was out. You know, I, I mean the guy was unbelievable. I literally thought I was watching like a first overall pick this past week, and I was at the game, and it was not pretty. But watching that guy, Kev, in real live, has so much speed,
Oh, he fast as hell. He was
dumb fast.
fortune Miles Bryant. Like I don't know what we expected.
I,
How
I
did
mean, Miles Bryant's like he's way better at covering like a Dawson Knox, simply because he's not that fast, but he covers well. Just don't quite understand it. I'm
uh
not saying go pick him up, but they have Atlanta. If they have any more COVID issues,
well Beasley's not gonna be back and McKenzie should be in that slot role.
then I'd probably go. But are you playing them though? Like, who are you playing them over?
Oh, probably not in a season long league. No. But
Yeah,
it
probably
at
not in the
at a
championship.
$4,300 price tag on DraftKings. You can
Yeah, then
stack
you
him
would.
with Josh Allen and Stephon Diggs and then figure the rest out.
Yeah, and I'm not even sure like there's wide receivers out there that like I would pick up and play immediately. Like even Byron Pringle. Like if Kelsey or any of those guys are out again, sure, but otherwise, I mean, the guy had 2 touchdowns.
Yeah,
That's
no, there's
not gonna
there's no
happen.
wide receivers that I'm running out to grab this week. It would be all a couple of running backs, but really, you got what you got.
Yep.
You either have the handcuffs already that will be playing, or you don't.
Now, the one thing I will say though is that I think it's important in your championship week. It's not so much who you need, it's who the guy you're playing needs. Right? So if you know the guy you're playing, has been banged up on running back, right? He's putting Rex Burkhead out there. He's got a Saquon Barkley and he's afraid to play him, or he's got a Chase Edmonds, or even like a Michael Carter. Like it depends on how deep your league is. Like league of record, our league is deep, right? Our legacy league, the League of Legends, it may need to be rebranded. That's a deep league. Like it really depends on what you're looking at. But if you got a guy who's got Miles Gaskin against a Tennessee Titans team this week, or a Rex Burkhead against San Francisco, you may want to block, Ngambawale or Jordan Howard. Like you may want to go out and do that.
Yeah,
Um,
definitely, because Gaskin kind of lost his job. We saw
yeah,
a lot of Duke Johnson and Philip Lindsay last night. Don't like that if you're a
ridiculous.
Miles Gaskin owner. But I mean, if you have Miles Gaskin, you're probably not in the finals.
I hope. Oh, watch your mouth.
Oh, oh, oh.
Watch your mouth. You put some.
If
You
you
put some
do,
respect on that top
the rest of your
25, man.
team is just on point. But
Yeah, no. I mean, Miles Gaskin. I can't. It's hard to believe he's the 21st running back on the year right now, ahead of David Montgomery, who was out 6 weeks, so he doesn't really count. But, ahead of even these guys like A.J. Dillon and Michael Carter, Elijah Mitchell, even
They've
though
all
they've
missed
all dealt.
time though. They all
Yeah,
missed.
they've all missed time,
Well, Dylan
um
didn't, but he's been splitting work.
but even, like, him being, like, right behind Melvin Gordon or Damian Harris or Josh Jacobs, like, it just doesn't make sense anymore, and DeAndre Swift is taking a bump
He
since
had a
getting
couple
hurt,
really
so
nice games, but overall, I think you've been screwed over more than you've been happy with Miles Gaskin. And now it looks official that he is dead.
yeah,
Duke Johnson, Philip Lindsay
it's over.
were out there a lot more than him last night, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah. We did get a question from Dylan. Thanks for another question, man. He said, "Any tight end I should pick up over Jared Cook?" Yes. And I also absolutely hate Jared Cook this week against Denver. I don't like it at all. And that's coming from a guy that owns him. I'm obviously going to play Zach Ertz over him, but um, I'm looking at the list here, and it's tough, man. Like even Evan Ingram's getting steady targets every week, and I don't love it, but I don't hate it.
Yeah, Gerald Everett's probably owned now though after these past few weeks, but if he's
he would
not,
have.
he's the one.
Yeah, Gerald Everett would be the guy. He's been on fire. If Gerald Everett's available, Dylan, he's probably the guy. What about Tyler Conklin? See, the targets just aren't high enough for me with Conklin, but the
I don't think
matchups
they're
are
not
so
high enough for anybody. I
yeah,
hate
that's fair.
I hate it. If
I
you
think
don't
we should
have
replace
if you
we
don't
should
have Mark
replace tight
Andrews
ends with a tight end
at this
punter.
point, if you don't have Mark Andrews, you're screwed.
We need a league next year, Kev, that has punters in it. I want I
Yeah,
want I
let's
want
get
punters
it.
over
Let's
kickers
get it.
next year in some league.
There to go. How about CJ Uzama?
CJ Uzama,
There's
would
names
you?
that are probably widely available, or you can take a swing for the fences and go with John Bates.
John Bates. You're kidding.
Uh, He's got a strong matchup. Scored a touchdown last week.
What about Cameron Brate versus the Jets?
Ah,
I'm telling you, I'm going that deep down the list because I don't like Jared Cook versus Denver that much. And I don't know if I'm
how about Hooper?
overevaluating. He actually had a good game against Denver last time, but it's like every other game with
Au-
Jared Cook.
Austin Hooper, maybe 6 targets, 5 targets. I mean, it's just brutal.
I don't like against Pitt though. I don't know. I guess what we're trying to say here, Dylan, is that tight end is kind of a crapshoot. I think the one guy, if you could pick up and play, the one guy you could feel confident with would probably be Gerald Everett.
Yeah. Otherwise, I think I would just stick with Cook. It's brutal out there.
I mean, it's just hard because he hasn't had 2 good games, like, in a row, and he hasn't broken 10 points since week 12. It's just not great. It's just not great. We're all dealing with the tight end bullshit too, like, picking up Zach Ertz in 2 leagues, saved my season. Knox in another one. Um, Other than
Yeah.
that, trading for Hunter Henry in another one, which got me a first place seed, but, a boot in the first round.
Dallas
Uh,
Goedert killed me 2 weeks ago, eliminated me, and then this week he didn't show up.
yeah.
Yeah,
Nah,
it's crazy. You can't trust nobody but Andrews and Kelsey right now.
yeah. Oh, even
Even
then.
Kittle went out there and put up 4 points this past week. Like after putting up 40 the 2 weeks before that, it's just
Yeah. I mean,
should
if
honestly
I
just
would say
stick
if
with Jared
Knox is
Cook.
available, get him, but he's definitely not available.
No, there's no way
Um,
Knox would be available. I don't
yeah. He
think.
said, "I'll look for Everett." Yeah, tight end has been awful. Waller almost killed my season,
Yeah,
and ever since then, I've been scrambling. I feel it, dude. That's what tight ends do. This is why we need like a tight end punter flex.
man. I'm still disappointed my Mark Andrews team couldn't get to the finals because he's carrying people right now.
Yep. Naturally, though, naturally, that's how it would work out. That's how it would go. In regards to anything else, I don't think we don't have any outstanding questions. And I'm sorry I can't go on Facebook while we're live on here either. But yeah, Dylan, go on if you're on Discord, go follow us, say hello, and we're talking all week. It's just a big community, so we're always talking with the guys. I probably chatter. more than just about anybody on on the thing. So, but yeah, I don't really have that much else. I mean, it's a big week, but I think the majority of the thing is don't overthink it. I think that's something I have to say both for other people as well as myself. Um, I think that the moment you overthink it, it turns to shit, right? Like we've been saying for weeks, especially you guys go with your studs, right? Um, I just think that's important to remember. Don't overthink it. So I don't really have anything else, much else, Kev. Do you?
Nah, honestly,
Yeah.
we basically covered it. It's not crazy week for waivers unless you got a
No.
couple of those backup RBs out there. Otherwise, you're just playing the guys that got you there and hoping for the best, hoping COVID doesn't take them out like they did to Austin Eckler, Travis Kelsey. Really, that's completely out of your control. And let's put some asterisks next to the winners this year, huh?
Trash, bro.
We're gonna put some asterisks. I don't like it.
You know what? Here's the thing, Kev. If I do end up winning 1 or 2 or
You
3
deserve it.
leagues,
Whoever
you
wins
can
this year does deserve it.
you can put all the fucking asterisks you want, because at the end of the day, the money's still going somewhere. So,
It's a
uh,
grind, even more so when you. It's a grind when you have to deal with injuries. It's a grind even more so when you got to deal with people who just he can't play because he's sick.
agreed.
It's fucking
Yeah,
crazy, man.
even Tyreek Hill last week, when I saw he had 3.9 points, I was like, I'm screwed. I was like,
Yo, like how about that? What a roller coaster of emotions that was. Oh, Tyreek Hill has COVID, might not play. Tyreek Hill is activated off the COVID list. Oh, sick. Tyreek's gonna play, and then he goes out there and does nothing, bro.
Right. I was eating
Crazy.
Christmas dinner. I was eating Christmas dinner at my parents' house, and I got the news flash across my, because I was watching football on my phone, obviously, because they didn't have it. They had some like fake fire going on the TV. So I
Oh,
had football
blasphemy.
going on the table, and I go, holy shit, Tyreek's playing, Tyreek's playing, Tyreek's playing, and my sister like looked at me, and she's like, "Could you calm down?" And I was like, "No, you don't understand how much time I spend on this shit. Like, no, I can't calm down. This is a culmination of a whole season of stress." And so, yeah, Dylan said
All that
Stafford
for
almost
him to
made me
put up
lose
3 turns.
this week, and Burrow was on my bench. Oh my god. Oh, and then he was playing some guy that had a bunch of Dallas players. Yeah, that'll happen. But I think that's about it for the Tuesday night show, folks. We really just don't have too much, but we'll be back on Thursday. For the pregame. Do we have a Thursday
There's
game
no
this week?
game. There is no game on Thursday, so I mean, if you guys can still hop on maybe for an hour to answer questions, but there's no game.
How unfortunate is that? Yeah, so no Saturday games either.
No, everyone's playing on Sunday the next 2 weeks. Well,
How
actually,
many 1 o'clock
there is a
games do we
Monday
have?
night game.
One,
There's a
two,
Monday
three.
night game this week. That's it.
We have 9 1 o'clock games.
Yeah, and the week after is even worse. There's probably like 11 1 o'clock games.
Oh my god.
Yep, we're into that
12.
time of the year,
There's
man.
12 in week 18.
Yep,
12 1 o'clock
everybody, 'cause
games.
everybody plays on Sunday. That
That is
big red zone stuff, though. Yeah, and
crazy.
playoff races are gonna be one and one, man.
Yeah, Steve Hanson's gonna be a busy man.
Oh,
Um,
real quick before we sign off, let's give it a quick little playoff prediction. Who you got for the AFC, and I'll do the NFC. Like the teams that'll get in. Run it down real quick.
I okay. I'm trying to think of. Let me try to pull up my notes for what I had for who I thought was gonna be in it when I was talking to Mick a few weeks ago. I don't know. It's hard to predict, but so the only team that's clinched is KFC. Is KFC. KC, right? Kansas City?
Yep.
Okay. All right. My prediction is that it is
Well, there's a lot of teams that clinched in the NFC, but
I'm trying to even look at the schedules. All right, so I guess I have to give you like where they're gonna finish?
Nah, I mean, just give me a
Okay.
rundown.
So the division leaders are gonna be Kansas City, um, Tennessee, Cincinnati, and Buffalo. And then the three wild cards, somehow I think it's gonna happen this way, is the Colts, Patriots, and Dolphins.
Yeah, that's what it is right now, and
I think it's gonna stay that way.
I think it can stay that way, and if it doesn't, it'll be the Chargers.
And do you think the Pats will be out because we lose to Miami in the last week?
No, no, the Pats. There's virtually no way we don't get in. We would have
No,
to lose. We would have to lose to the Jaguars to miss the playoffs. I'm pretty
we
sure
would have to lose 2 in a row?
we would have to lose to the Jaguars to miss. Yeah, we're pretty much in. But the thing I don't want to go to Buffalo, and there's a pretty good chance the way this shakes out is we have to go to
Because
Buffalo,
Buffalo would be the 3 seed, right?
and we would be the 6.
Oh,
There is,
Jesus.
but either way, we know we're either going to Buffalo, we're going to Cincinnati, or we're going to
I don't
Tennessee.
wanna play either of those
I
teams.
don't want to go to any of those places.
I don't
And
mind going to
honestly,
Cincinnati, but
I
I
think we could handle Cincinnati. I know the offense is explosive, but he's a young quarterback with a young coach. I think Bill could figure
in
it
a
out.
in a riled up city.
I think Bill could figure it out. I think we've always played well against Cincinnati, but if we go to
Uh,
Tennessee and they have Derrick Henry back, I don't like that. If we have to go to Buffalo, bro, I really don't like that. Unless
I
it's
mean, the
fucking
Chargers the
1,000-mile-an-hour
Chargers
winds
used
again.
losing to Houston fucked everything up. They
I
just messed
still,
everything up. So who
but
do you think
anyway,
for the NFC then? I mean, I don't know if I see Baltimore getting in at this juncture. I don't
no,
know if I
Baltimore, I
see.
think they're toast because they
Yeah.
play the Rams this week, and I
What about
don't
the
think
Raiders? What's their remaining schedule?
they have to play the Colts this week,
Don't like
and then
that.
they'll have to play the Chargers, and they might get lucky. Carson Wentz might not play, but they still have Jonathan Taylor.
And then
That
the
might
Colts
be
play
all
the
we need.
Jaguars. Oh, so who does Tennessee play?
Miami and
I
Houston.
I don't
That's a
know if
big
they
game this week. Miami and
I
Tennessee.
don't know if they beat Miami, dude.
I don't know if they do either.
So
They
either the
are at
Colts
home.
or
They have that going
Tennessee will
for them.
finish, but well, so the Colts are 9-6 though, right? And Tennessee's 10-5?
Yeah,
Okay. So even if Tennessee wins one, what
I
was
think
their
Tennessee is going to win that division because they play Houston in the last week of the season. I
yeah.
just don't think they lose that game. Yeah,
Yeah,
they're
it's
not
true.
going to lose to Houston in the last week of the season
I
with the
don't think
division
so.
on the line. So to me, they'll be that 2 seed, or at worst, like the 3.
Yep.
Um, Now in the NFC though, I think San Francisco finds a way to get in. They're just they they deserve it. Maybe
Yeah.
Jimmy doesn't, but the rest of the team does. And the Eagles will get that other wild card. I think New Orleans losing last night could have possibly screwed them out of it. Atlanta's not going to get in. I don't think Minnesota gets in. So there's only 2 spots up for grabs over there. Arizona, Tampa, LA, Dallas, Green Bay. They're all locked in. So there's this thing on ESPN that you can like simulate the matchups, like each for the next 2 weeks. You
Yeah.
can pick the winners, and it will give you like the
The
playoff,
outcome.
how it would turn out. And
What's that on? The ESPN fantasy app?
uh, no, you just look up like NFL playoff machine.
Oh,
But I've
fire.
run through it, and if the Saints have an easier schedule than San Francisco does, but I don't think the Saints belong there. I don't think
Wow,
the Saints
okay,
belong in
this
the
is
playoffs, man.
interesting.
Wouldn't you rather watch like San Francisco, Debo, Kittle, Ayuk out there in the playoff game than fucking Taysom Hill?
Yeah.
I
Yeah, I
don't I
would.
don't want them there. I don't want them there. So I'm hoping that San Francisco and Philly get in.
Yeah. Yeah, I'd say the same. I think at this point, that's pretty much what's gonna happen. Do you think Detroit beats Seattle this week?
I think there's a good shot that happens. Yeah, I don't see why not. Chicago just did it.
Do you think the
I mean,
Cowboys win this week?
absolutely. I don't think the
Yeah.
Cowboys lose again until sometime in the playoffs.
Yeah, they look pretty yeah, yeah, naturally.
I mean,
Naturally.
who do they play this week? Cardinals.
Arizona.
I think they can beat Arizona at home. Cardinals have looked like trash past few weeks.
Yeah, this
They're
this playoff
they did the
machine
same
thing is
thing
interesting,
last
dude.
year. Yeah, you can make any scenario happen really if you wanted to. You can get the Raiders into the playoffs.
See, my thing is, I don't know if I mean, so we're gonna be in, right? Most likely, but I'm not certain we beat Miami in Miami the last week if they keep on this run they're on. Like,
No,
I
there's a
think there's
shot we end up the 7 seed and have to go to Tennessee or Cincinnati.
but here's the deal, would you rather go to Tennessee or Buffalo or Cincinnati?
I think I'd rather go to Cincinnati.
I think I'd rather go to Tennessee if Derrick Henry's not back.
Honestly, even if Derrick Henry is back, you know what? I think I'd rather play Ryan Tannehill.
I think I would too. I think I would
We
too,
we
even though they
beat them
always play
pretty
us hard.
handily
I'll give them
earlier in
that,
the
but
year. I mean, they ran for over 200 yards against us, and we won by 23 points.
yeah.
Like Derrick Henry can have a field day, and the Patriots can still win that game. But on the road in the playoffs, a little different. They didn't have AJ Brown either, didn't right?
No.
Yeah, man. So honestly, the fact that we're gonna be on the road is just brutal.
I don't hate it, dude. We've been shit at home. I'd rather be on the road. I've been saying this. I'd rather not be a number 2 seed or anything, dude. We've played like crap at home all season. I like being an underdog. I think this team's identity is as an underdog. I think we all got really excited when we were winning 6 in a row, but I don't think that's who we are. And I think we've proven that the past couple of weeks. But we'll see, man. It's going to be exciting. We did get a question from BTG. This is the last one we'll take for the night, Kevin. Then we'll head out. He said, "Am I
Wrap it up.
crazy for sitting Terry McLaurin and starting both MVS and either Josh Palmer or Jalen Guyton if Williams is out? 16 team league." Uh,
Uh,
yeah,
yeah.
yeah. I don't know if I would do that. Terry McLaurin has more contested catches than anybody in the league this year.
I know that's not helping him for fantasy, but
I know, but against Philly, you think? I mean, it's not an easy matchup. He's been shite since week 11. I don't know. Maybe this guy's not crazy.
I don't
Maybe
think
he's
he's crazy because of how bad McLaurin has been, but those other options aren't exactly.
listen. I'd play your stud.
I
I'd
think
play
I would just
play
stick with
McLaurin.
Terry. As bad as it is, and as bad as Washington has been, like I don't think MVS is the answer or anybody against Denver.
Yeah. No, I mean, and it's confirmed that Mike Williams is out. By the way, even though MVS has a fantastic matchup against Minnesota, and he torched them last time.
Ooh,
Finished the wide receiver 6 last time they played
that
Minnesota.
makes it more interesting. I
Yeah,
kind of forgot who they were playing.
yeah,
I think I would honestly go with MVS over McLaurin then.
yeah. I mean,
He's at 10
I
targets,
forgot.
9 targets, 5
To be
targets,
completely
7
honest,
targets,
what's that?
10 targets, 9 targets, 5 targets, 7 targets. 2 touchdowns over that stretch. Minnesota's really, really bad.
Yeah, I mean, McLaurin's not been good either.
No, you know
And
what? Chase the ceiling. Go that
would you play MVS or Alan Lazard?
MVS.
Same, same. Yeah, so fuck it. Go with MVS. Why not?
I don't think Terry's gonna. Not against the Eagles are playing hot right now. They're getting into the playoffs. They got Darius Slay. Heineke has taken a serious step back.
Yeah,
It looks like so. I
yeah.
you know what?
Dude, the guy just gets
Yeah,
pummeled every single game. It's like,
yeah, it's brutal, man. Their defense is fighting each other on the sidelines. Like,
that was crazy.
wrap it up. Season's over, boys.
Yeah. Send everybody home. Yep. All right. Well, listen, that just about does it. We just hit about the 1 hour mark. I think we'll be back Thursday. It won't be a normal pregame show, obviously, but we'll figure something out before the weekend starts. Because Sunday will just be too busy. If we all try to attack it on Sunday, it'll be an absolute mess. We're gonna do our best to get everyone's questions answered. If you're not following us, please hit the follow button. Head over to our YouTube and hit the subscribe button as well, so you can see everyone's beautiful face on Thursday and Sunday, and not just mine. We wish everybody a good luck if we don't see you back here before then. And feel free to join our Discord. We are always open to start sit questions, DFS questions, whatever questions you have related to football. We will do our best to answer. Kev, great seeing you again, buddy. I know it's been a while. I was a little bit of a hiatus around the Christmas season, but we're back in action. We're ready for championship week, and I'll talk to you on Sunday, buddy.
All right, man. Enjoy.
All right, brother. Happy New Year.
Yeah, Happy New Year, everybody. Enjoy. Be responsible.
And
You know,
call
yeah.
yeah,